How and why does astrology work? Some theories have tried to state that there are rays or some other kind of influence on the physical plane between the planets. This idea would suggest, for example, that Venus puts out certain magnetic waves, and that's how we have somebody like Angelina Jolie, who has a very strong Venus influence, and you can see it in her screen presence while Venus was rising at her time of birth. But the idea of physical influence is very unlikely. The Venus that is out there in space is a very real thing, a huge rocky mass with turbulent elements in its weather system and dust clouds. It really doesn't have much to do with the feminine concept of love and beauty which we associate with the goddess Venus, or Aphrodite in the Greek. However, when we see how many connections there are between astrology and life on planet Earth, we can see that there is some kind of other factor that's at play. The famous psychologist C.G. Jung was a pioneer in this concept in the 20th century, and he actually coined the term synchronicity in publications he made later in his life. Synchronicity can be defined as the experience of two or more events meaningfully related, although they are unlikely to be causally related. As a boy growing up, Jung was aware that there were such things as common acausal connections. For example, he noticed that there was a peasant belief in birds over death houses that were related to the death. Now, you wouldn't want to say that the birds caused the death, and you wouldn't want to say that the death caused the birds to flock. It is a coincidence of events that carries a meaning. Astrology works in much the same way. There is a symbolic connection between the planetary movements and our personal and social makeup. Astrology reveals your higher self. The astrology, as seen in this course, follows in the steps of the humanistic school of Western astrology as represented by the late great Dane Rudhyar, and represents also the philosophy of C.G. Jung, who is a great soul of archetypal astrology. In the light of this background, let's see how astrology can show you more about yourself by revealing your hidden motivations and talents, as well as your hang-ups that stand in the way of living a more whole life and that represent challenges to be worked through rather than immovable limitations.